Well, this was my first foreign mission trip I've ever been on, and just want to thank all y'all again for praying for us and supporting us with your money and all your donations. And like Johnny said a little bit, one of the days we went out to the dump, and that's not a nickname for where we were. It literally is the dump. It's where they take all the garbage for the city and leave it. And you know, there was a few of us that went, and Carol is the lady that kind of heads up the mission out there, and it's the probably worst thing I've ever seen. There's just stuff out there that I've never seen before, and it's basically a place where the women and the children that live in the dump can come for food that she brings out there once a week, and water that they bring once a week. Most of the kids are products of rape. The men just kind of come and go and just rape the women, beat the women. They will actually steal the children out of the dump and sell the kids, you know, to other people to give for adoption and things like that. And some of these pictures, that's actually a picture that's directly across from where we were working. And as you can see, there's just kind of trash and stuff on the road. And I actually left the place where we were and went into where the actual people live, like in the dump. And these are just some pictures on the road. And the way it is, that's the road right there, and that little alleyway it's all set up in a grid, and all those little tin shacks, there's whole families that live in those little things. And that's just the entrance to one of the alleys, and the home or the house is only about 8 by 8. And that water running down the middle is their sewage. That's raw sewage. And those kids are eating stuff off the ground right there beside the sewage. I don't know what it was they were eating. And then as you can see in the background, all those different doors are entrance to homes. And there was just children and women everywhere. And I asked her how many people actually lived in this little spot. And she said there's about 2,000 people that live just right in this little grid of these little tin shacks. And that's just a picture of the door. I took a picture because that's that guy's address. I don't know what the T stands for, but that's what and that's another picture. Somebody lives in there. They sleep in that trash and just kind of cover it with a tarp and rummage through the garbage for food, I guess. This is one of the families we saw. It was a woman with 2 small kids. And this was actually not her home. Somebody was letting her stay there, but she said in a few months that she was going to have to leave, and she was just going to have to sleep out in the alley with her kids because there wasn't anywhere else for her to stay. And I had a few protein bars that I took out, and those kids just tore into them like hungry dogs. I mean, they just, you know, I don't know when the last time they had eaten and had food and water, but you know, it was really sad. This is just a couple of kids that were trying to build a skateboard out of a 2x4 and some wheels. That's just another picture. Each one of those different colored things is a different house, and a family lives in each one of those. And there's just, you know, thousands of them, all in a grid. That's just a little boy. If you turn your head sideways, you can see him. He just lives in that little 4x6 area, and he's in a wheelchair. I don't really know what's wrong with him, but obviously he can't walk. He's got something wrong with his legs. This is just another gentleman I saw when I was out there, you know, making house calls, and that's his house. It's his was bigger than most of them. His was probably about 10 by 12, and he just lived in there, and you know, did the best he could with food and water. This is another one. They had put up those bags just kind of for shelter, but those bags of garbage, if you look, you can't see, but if you would look behind them, that's where somebody lives. They live over there behind those trash piles, and that's just another house where people live with garbage piled up. And that's just a couple of kids we had seen that I took a picture of leaving the mission we were at. But, you know, Johnny mentioned briefly supporting this group and supporting Carol. She actually teaches the women to sew and to make these bags and make jewelry, and they sell them to buy food and water. So, you know, if somebody wants to help, wants to do something, I'm sure we could get with Carol, and if you want to buy some of these bags, you know, to help support them, I'm sure she could ship them over. But, anyway, mine's not quite as happy as everybody else's, but I just wanted to share those pictures and a little bit about the dump out there.